My name is Raymond Karchevsky. I'm a living Christ. Today I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a living Christ and you, the average, intellectually trained, responsive, memory-based automaton, satanically indoctrinated. All of your lives, even to this very day, when you tune into the news, the media, you are treated with ideas, illusions, fantasies, concepts. They're not real. They're all fictions because they're dead. You understand? When you are trying to express what has occurred, you're in the past. The past is dead. It's encapsulated in words, in symbols, ideas. It's called history. You're all historically based persons. The person is dead also. You're dead. Oh, you will argue that, but argument is the talent of the dead, where they bandy about ideas that encapsulate something that occurred in a moment out of time, the eternal moment of now. That's where life is lived. You understand? It's energy. It's eternal energy. But when that energy is collapsed into an encapsulated idea, you have the vessel, which can be communicated from one to another. It's called a word. You understand? But the spirit of that word is eternal. It's living. It always has been, is now, and shall be. That's what life is all about. That's what love is all about. But that's not where you live. You live in the past. And you repeat it in the present, and the present creates the future. That's the cycle of life that you live, but it's not life itself. It's merely a reflection, a fiction of life that is based in concepts. And you worship that. That is the false God that you worship, instead of worshiping the eternal God of infinite intelligence, which is what is. It is now. You understand? That's what God is. Infinite energy. And that may be grasped in the subconscious mind, the mind of non-duality. That's the mind of God, the creative mind. That's who you truly are. But what is stands alone. It is what is. But concepts can be entertained in the conscious intellect, intellectual mind. That's the satanic mind, the mind of illusion, the mind of fiction. If you have awareness, non-dualistic awareness, you are quite aware of the shift between the subconscious mind of non-duality into the dualistic, satanically ruled intellect of opposites. You see, there everything is split, fragmented, based in reaction of opposites, which leads to confusion, uncertainty. That's the world that all civilized men and women live in. To them, they lack the awareness of understanding truly the what is of eternal life and the idea of what is, which is a satanic fiction. So they create the security of institutions, of religion, of government, of banking, corporations. All these are fictional ideas created by the mind of man, the intellect of man, an understanding that anything that is created by that mind must be a fiction because it's created out of time. It's created in the past, based in memories, ideas that serve, called the ego. All of you worship the ego. You worship celebrity, which is nothing more than inflated egos to the extreme. You worship fame, fortune. You worship power. All of these are satanic fictions, ideas. So these become the god of all intellectually driven, programmable intellects. That answers the civilized world, does it not? Understand? You must be trained into that kind of consciousness. You're sent to schools. Schools program you according to the structured ideas that it wants you to follow. And you are graded based on the ability to repeat, to repeat, to repeat, to repeat. It's all dead. Dead repetition. It gives the picture of life, but in fact it's dead because it's repeatable. It acts according to a script. And you hold to that script or you are punished by it. That's your civilized world. You're living a life according to a script that you believe that you must act accordingly. Now, I state to you in no uncertain terms that I am a living Christ. What does that mean? I must explain it to you. And I must use words to communicate with you because your awareness is stunted. There can be no telepathic communication. among lower level intellectual beings. So they must use words. But certainly when one becomes highly intuitive, telepathic, apprehensions are quite common. Words are not necessary. And that's what one experiences in the heart. The wholeness of what is. Understand? But we are divorced from that. We have left the wholeness of our being, our subconscious mind, in order to pursue the vagaries of the conscious, separative, divided intellect with its sensations, the highs, the lows, the manic, the depressive. Do you understand? All words, all terms, which define modern civilized man. The unbalanced man. Truth comes to one who is balanced between the subconscious, holistic, dualistic, non-dualistic mind and the satanically ruled, unbalanced, intellectual mind. When that occurs, communication can be had between a living Christ and a fallen, civilized person. I use the word person advisedly because that's who you are. You have consented to become a person by not rebutting your birth certification. The satanic government has created you into such a non-living entity, a concept similar to a corporation, in a legalistic sense, where you're equal to all fictional corporations. That's the satanic spirit of the legal system. It's all Satanism. But you've grown up with it. You have learned to accept that as being normal. And you follow in. You obey. But what are you obeying? Every time you obey another, you give up your sovereignty in order to prostrate yourself at the feet of your master, whom you perceive to be superior to you. These are your authorities, your presidents, your kings, your queens. They're just living men and women, just like you. But somehow they have bamboozled you into believing that they are superior, you're superior, and you must bow down and scrape before them. That makes you a slave, and by your own consent makes them your master. That's civilized life. It's time for all that to come to an end and become at one, all at one, non-dualistic in spirit, in equality. When you do that, you change your world. Oh, you are a threat to the world of fiction. No question about that. And they will pull out all the stops in order to destroy you before they are fully exposed. Well, this living Christ has been at this for 25 years. And as you can see, all of the campaigns that have been waged against this living Christ to destroy him have failed. I'll not go into it because you can read about it on my website, arkenterprises.com, and Lisa Ray Enterprises.com. And make of it what you will. I do not seek to persuade anyone of anything, as you can experience if you are aware enough to experience the energy that is being expressed at this very moment is not one of manipulation or persuasion, but one of truth, one of speaking of what is. And you must make of it what you will. That's how you grow spiritually. I cannot train you. I will not train you. For training is satanic. But it's so common that you don't pay attention. You live your life according to that ignorance, believing that you're living life as you should. But look at that life that you're leading. Look at the wars. Look at all the harm that is based on opposition, from the highest to the lowest. You're responsible for that. You enjoy being entertained by another. That can only occur in a dualistic relationship, you see. Entertainers take you away on a trip, a fictional voyage, a fantasy. And those entertainers, on the low level, are comedians. They make you laugh. And laugh becomes a safety valve that releases all the pressures that you are experiencing, living in a hell of false ideas. Understand? They talk about things. Well, if you are paying any attention at all, you are quite aware that I am not talking about anything. I'm talking of things. There's a vast difference between talking about and talking of. Talking of is that of oneness with the energy unfolding in the eternal moment of now. Talking about is already past, and you're talking about that which has occurred and is in the past, a memory-based past. And so, talk about things. These are your philosophers. These are your authors. Understand, they're all hell-bound. There's only a living Christ, one who speaks of what is. In that moment that can be felt, it is an energy that is holistic, holy. It is not fragmented. If it is, it's merely a scripted existence. And you're quite familiar with that. So, pay attention to the spirit, which is being the energy communicated now That is the truth. So you then judge that through the words and your learned definitions, and you create a different outcome of that energy. And that becomes the basis for argument. That becomes the basis for all of the ills of hell that exist when one is living in the past, in their intellect, which is, as I have said, normal to most of you. Some of you have a glimmer of the truth, and that's enough for you to begin paying attention. You haven't been able to separate yourself, seeking security from such energy, holistic energy, that is life-changing. You understand? You seek change in your life. But when you are exposed to it, it scares the hell out of you. That's your training. That's your satanic training. You cannot deny it. But you wish that you were free from it. You're all in hell. The hell of your own making. You believe. Belief is always a symptom of fragmented energy, which is hell. So, if you're civilized, if you follow rules, words, regulations, laws, they're your authority. There's your split. You're in hell. So, when you hear someone like this living Christ, you understand that there's something different. You can't put your finger on it, but your awareness does not allow you to escape into your illusions. Oh, you will do that regardless, but you will feel the pain of that yourself. I don't inflict pain upon anyone, for I follow God's law. I do no harm, and I tell no lies. You understand how different that is from most of you and how you live your lives. You live in a fictional world, and that is the only world where harm exists, because it is based in duality, fragmentation, a part of the whole that is perceived to be the whole. And then that is what separates you from others who have different ideas, different cultured ideas, different satanic ideas. That's how you create hell. Civilized life is hell. There's no question about that. Why? Because you talk about things. Superficial ideas, words, concepts. They have no relevance to what is. They are all the after-moment-based construction of that which was at one time, but is no longer. That's the past. You live in the past. If you are a civilized man or a woman, you're living in the past because you're living according to a script that you have been taught that you must obey. And that is the authority of Satan that you all abide by. And you take your position in hell. And you gain the power that you're capable of through your intellectual acumen. You understand? You go to school. You go to college. You go to university. It's all the same. Or what appears to be accelerated, increased in some way, but it's simply mind control. It keeps you in hell, and you live your life in hell while thinking that you are progressing spiritually. That is your unawareness, your inability to perceive that which is only in the eternal moment of now. That is an holistic man, a holy man or woman, a Christ. That's who I am. Now, it's for you to determine whether that's a brag or whether or not I just spoke to you the truth. Your awareness will increase when you die to the satanic conditioning that you are now saddled with, believing that you must live the way you must live in order to find happiness, to find security, when you know that it has never come to you, no matter what you have done. Something has always happened to destroy that security, that feeling of peace and love and balanced. I'm bringing that to you. Whether you accept it or not is your business, not mine. Because the only one who will experience whether or not they live in hell or they live in freedom and sovereignty and non-dualistic truth is they themselves. Ponder that. Meditate upon that. That's what you must do if you are to change your life and to change your world. In the present world that you live in, that of duality, I can't do that for you. I will not do that for you. And if you will pay attention, be aware, I have not tried to manipulate you at all in this talk. I have merely spoken of the truth. The rest has been what is going on in your mind. Your intellectual, fragmented mind. That's all there is to it. Try it. You'll like it. Start to live holistically, truthfully. Follow God's law. Do no harm. Tell no lies, and you're instantly out of the hell of your own intellect. Thank you for listening.